23 years, 17 world championships, lots of back and forth. And one night later, John Cena has retired from the WWE. We're going to talk about it. See you in a second. If I can do it. There you go.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Hey, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti, joined by Matt Cascone at Matt's Minifig, Matt's Minifigs. I almost messed that up for you. We are a day after the greatest of all times retirement match. Fudge, it's John Cena retiring. I am very emotional. I have lots of thoughts. I have lots of feelings. We're going to get into all of it. Before we get into the nitty gritty, Matt, just give me your quick thoughts while I set up for everything else. But yay, nay, indifferent.
Mixed. Definitely not indifferent as I was going into it, but definitely mixed. There was mixed emotions. Only time I really got emotional was when Kevin was, when John was greeting the legends and he embraced Kevin Owens.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, somewhere in the middle, and I think it's too early to say whether this was a hit or miss. Should we cheer it or jeer it, as they say?
No, and I can respect that. I mean, personally, I know I've gone back and forth. I can't even tell you how many times. I have gone between loving it, hating it, understanding it, but being disappointed by it, understanding it and embracing it for John's sake. In general, I think when all the dust is settled on it, I'm going to be a mark about it and say it's just not what I wanted. But I understand how we got here. I understand how you could argue we needed this to happen. Still not happy, but we'll talk about it. So should we'll talk about John out the gate. We should talk about the rest of the show, but obviously the most important aspect of the night was John Cena versus Gunther. And I liked the match, even though I just didn't appreciate the ending. But this really did feel like the perfect match for John to have. You had the ultimate bad guy in Gunther. You had all the pomp. You had all the circumstance for John throughout the night. They did a beautiful job. Like, realistically, no matter how we feel about how everything ended, WWE did a beautiful job of setting the stage for this match. The video packages were touching. All the wrestlers, all the celebrities, all the other sports figures paying tribute to John throughout the night was a very nice touch. And it really, you could feel it being in the arena, guys. In case I haven't said it enough, in case you haven't seen it on social media enough, I was there. Being in the arena for that was electric. Not to glaze a guy who we're all still kind of mad at right now, but goosebumps kind of thing, and everybody there was having a fun time. Everybody there was having a good time, and you could feel the electricity. You could feel the importance of what we were watching. And I don't know how that translated at home. Did it feel like a big deal at home?
Yeah, definitely the presentation was there. Like you said, everyone, sending in their videos. I mean, there was people there on hand as well. I mean, John Bernthal was a fun.
Right?
You know, if you don't know, guys, John Bernthal through marriage is Kurt Angle's nephew, I believe.
Yeah.
So
I think he's married to Kurt's niece.
okay, yeah.
I think that's really what he calls him Uncle Kurt, but I think that's really what it is.
Yeah. So that was fun. And they had some other people that I didn't care about, like Metro Boomin, who I think was sitting behind Bernthal, like he couldn't get a front row seat. I was like, ha! Take that, you and your U.S. title belt. I got nothing against Metro Boomin. I'm just giving him a hard time. Is he one of the guys that does the current music of people, or like
he's done stuff with WWE for sure? He's definitely either produced like for pay-per-views some songs, or he's definitely done something. I know that they have a good relationship. This is not the he's appeared on a WWE screen, and he's definitely been behind the scenes on some stuff.
Just not good enough to get first row with Bernthal, but good enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kurt Angle's nephew. Like that's nepotism. That's nepotism, baby.
Yeah, nothing to do with being in Marvel.
Hey, that's enemy lines right there. Peacemaker versus the Punisher. That's a crossover I'll take.
Oh, yep, that's a good one. I mean, they got to get that Marvel license. I'm surprised they haven't gone for it. I think we've made jokes about it on the pod, even though Cardona and the major pod, they're the ones who have the Marvel license right now. But I don't think it would take much for WWE to like usurp that, so that they can do it and be like, AEW's got DC, well, we got Marvel because we're petty like that.
I promise it's not just me being a generational hater. I'm genuinely a bigger DC fan than I am a Marvel fan. Like I love Marvel too, but so the fact that AEW and DC partnered up just feels right to me. Like they're the good guys in the situation.
I will say DC does a better job of like rewarding their creators after the fact. Like, that's been long established, and I think probably has only gotten worse since like the House of Mouse. But back on topic, I don't know if you can feel the electricity, but from home. But I will say the crowd was active. And I mean, we heard the FU Gunthers, even though they tried to bleep them out.
That was very loud. I was very loud.
And the crowd, they brought their signs. People were super excited. I felt bad because we've complained about the ads, but it will not end here. It's on our story right now. They had crowd shots of people with signs, only for them to get plastered over by the Minute Maid ad. And it's like,
really,
my God, dude, like we don't need this much ads. Like figure out how to do this. Like don't show any crowd at all if you're going to do that.
What would you rather? I'm genuinely asking. This isn't like a gotcha question. It's an actual question. Would you rather them do a Minute Maid commercial where they, just slap something on the screen, or or what they're doing like with the signs, or would you rather it be something on the ring like a banner, the way they've been doing with like John Cena on his knees on top of Riyadh season is going to be an all-time image for a lot of people.
We could Photoshop that out. But Minute Maid was on both. They were on the barricades and this stupid ad spot.
Yeah.
And all I know is like if I was one of those people with a sign and I go home and I play it and that's what happens, I would be so upset. I would not be Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., who's like, look at me, I made it on TV, even though I'm covered up. Like,
I hear you. I hear you. Mr. Penguin, flag should be at half-mast for the next 3 days. I thought you'd be a bigger fan. I thought you'd be with the rest of us and say for the next year or so. But, everybody mourns differently. I get it. So let's just get into the nitty-gritty of the match. This was very much a finisher fest. This was very much a signature moment kind of match. As John went for the 5-knuckle shuffle 3 times. He hit the AA several times. We got it in various forms. We got, there you go, Mr. Penguin. Right on, brother. We got Cena hitting the AA in the ring. We had Cena hitting the AA off the steel steps through the announce table. We had the super AA off the top rope into the middle of the ring.
And one more. There was 4 total.
Yeah. We had Cena lock in the STF. We saw Cena. For me, I think the biggest pop of the match, outside of probably the AA through the table, was him going for the top rope leg drop onto Gunther.
Yeah, they made a big deal out of that. Like, he hasn't done that in a while.
I think it's been years since he's hit it. I think it's been years. So I thought that was cool. Definitely felt like it was a move he didn't want to hit for insurance reasons. But for the last one, he was like, fuck it. You know, I don't have to worry about getting injured. Gunther obviously chopping the hell out of Cena. Cena's chest at the end of the night was torn up. Locking in the sleeper hold several times, going for multiple clotheslines.
Those lariats. I think he hit like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Where he just waited for Cena to stand up and then just hit it again.
Yep.
Kind of reminiscent of Brock Lesnar Cena SummerSlam match. Obviously, the match in its entirety was not that like one-sided, was not that dominated. But like the lariats, specifically clotheslines, whatever you want to call them, they were, to me, reminiscent of like Lesnar hitting the suplexes on Cena.
No, absolutely. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. Mr. Penguin asking, did we see the video of Gunther going to his bus outside the arena? I did. I don't know if you did, Matt.
I only saw him getting berated by the young chubby child who got screen time during the match.
That was great.
He was, like, screaming at Gunther when he was like going for the chokehold. And then afterwards, some fan footage of him being like, F you, knock off my hat, I dare you. And Gunther just being like, oh, I'm being very hospitable. You know, it's like,
that kid has balls of steel, and I applaud him. What up, Tyler? How you doing, man? Yeah, dude, I know you're having a sad day. I'm sorry for you. Mahomes going down. That sucks. Wishing him a speedy recovery. But yeah, no, that going back to Mr. Penguin's question, Gunther walking in the street after the show, being flanked by security because people are following him, cursing him out, screaming at him. And quite frankly, it is the type of heat exactly that WWE was looking for. WWE knew what this was going to be. WWE knew what this was going to do to Gunther, and it's exactly what they're hoping for. Now, granted, I don't think they were hoping for all of the reaction they got, but I think they knew exactly what they were turning Gunther into with this match outcome. But getting into that outcome, the final several minutes, not seconds, but minutes of the match, saw Gunther repeatedly and prolongedly lock Cena in to his sleeper hold. Cena fought valiantly on several occasions, on several attempts to get out of the sleeper hold, to counter the sleeper hold, successfully doing so on a couple of occasions, having gotten to his feet, driving Gunther into the corner on one or two instances, turning it into an AA. But even after the AA and getting the 2 count, Gunther was like a shark in the water, smelling blood, immediately hopped out like a horror movie villain at the end for the cold stinger, and locking in the that's a good one. Gunther is our Hans Gruber. Good one. I am terrified of this, and we'll talk about it in a second, Tyler. Gunther continuing to lock in the sleeper hold. Cena, very controversially, tries to fight out once more, is unable to, is lying on his side as Gunther is locked in around his neck, smiles, and very casually, very acceptingly taps out. Gunther himself seemed shocked that he made Cena tap. The crowd immediately dumbfounded with what they saw, both booing and in utter disbelief and silence from some people that were on camera. And with that, John Cena's career is over.
In-ring career.
Wrestling career.
WWE
wrestling career. Yeah, wrestling career. Gunther makes his way up the ramp, goes out the way. John starts to stir. He's in the middle of the ring on his knees. The crowd very upset, chanting bullshit, and then turning it into "Thank you, Cena." At this point, the entire WWE, not just locker room, but it felt like the entire WWE company came out.
Well, every staff member on hand, minus probably security.
Yeah.
And the guys in the truck.
Yeah. Stu being chief among them, really glad they gave Stu a lot of love. Who we just found out Tom is his actual first name.
His last name is Stewart.
Yep. Didn't see that twist coming.
Stew.
What a heel. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon leading the charge, and my God, did the crowd eat Triple H alive. He loved it. He loved it because he can't let the crowd ever feel anything. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes come in with their championships. It was actually crazy. CM Punk was essentially right in front of me watching the match, he and Bailey.
Oh, yes, and they were shocked.
Yeah. They put their championships on Cena's shoulders, very reminiscent of years ago when Cena and Batista put their respective championships on the shoulder of someone far less worthy than Cena, Hulk Hogan. I don't know. What's he going to do? I'm mad after yesterday. I'm sorry. I spent 23 years as a babyface with John. I'm allowed to have a heel moment.
All right.
But John, you could tell, was a little shaken. It feels like was a little shaken by the reception to what had happened. Like, I'm sure he was dealing with a lot of emotion of the reality of it's over. Also hearing the crowd just be utterly disappointed with the outcome. So many different things went into it. At this point, after, giving the crowd, some moments, lifting up the championships, doing like the posing for everybody, Triple H comes up. The crowd just absolutely boos him. They play another beautiful tribute video, another a really sweet one.
But we've already seen it. They're like, hey, John, watch this video that we've already seen. Already.
That one was different than the other one. There was one that played before the match that we had all seen.
Okay,
and
never mind.
Yeah, this one was different.
This one had Vince McMahon footage.
Yes. John is pretty much stone-faced throughout the entire video. The only times he shows any emotion are when his parents show up, when Punk is crying, and when really gets emotional when Vince is on screen. After the video ends, John is alone in the ring. He takes off his wristbands. He takes off his armband. He takes off his sneakers. Many people were disappointed that John did not take off his jorts.
Or his socks. He had "You Can't See Me" socks.
Yeah.
We don't want him to get MRSA, though. John,
exactly.
all wrestlers, please don't get MRSA.
Yeah. Anti-MRSA here at the Market Down podcast. John then takes his bows around the ring, walks up the ramp, bows one final time, and then says to the camera and to everybody watching, "Thank you for allowing me to serve you all these years. No, it's been a pleasure to serve you all these years. Thank you." And with that, we cannot see him. John Cena has retired from the WWE. Okay. Let's go through the comments real quick.
Yeah, good idea.
Mr. Penguin saying Cena should come back as Peacemaker. I don't think he can. I think if he does, he would have to do it in AEW.
Yeah. Gregory Helms wanted it last year for the Royal Rumble.
That would have been great. That would have really been great. Mr. Penguin saying Stu is the masked man. Look, Stu has been running after John for years, and I'm sure he could chase after somebody. I don't think he could jump up a cage the way we've been seeing the masked man do. James heel turn LFG. Look, I don't even think it's really heelish to do anything against Hulk Hogan. But regardless, Tyler asking, do you know if John Cena signed a new contract, not as a wrestler? I heard that. I haven't been able to verify it by any stretch. I've been hearing rumors that he signed a special contract with WWE that will keep him part of the WWE family for another 10 years.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true. Truly, I don't know if it's true. It's just some scuttlebutt that I've been hearing.
It's like, if he did that, would he make appearances on television? Would he just be the spokesperson, kind of like Titus O'Neil, but
yeah,
someone that we actually all care
I'm
about?
sure there's a level of, this is probably for merch. I'm sure this is probably for being able to use his appearance like to promote stuff.
Yeah.
As it is, John has already been advertised for the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. So, I mean, the heavy speculation is he's just going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame on SmackDown.
I was going to say, we're definitely going to, like, I don't think he's going to be on television anytime soon, except in the case that if he gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I think Hall of Fame, the obligatory WrestleMania appearance that accompanies Hall of Fame, and for some reason that Monday Night Raw.
Well, they do these are the people we like inducted into the Hall of Fame on the Monday Night Raw. Like they're kind of like in the crowd or whatever.
I know that for WrestleMania itself, they have them come out on the stage.
That's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
But so the fact that they're also highlighting Raw, we'll see. But I'm sure, Tyler, once the dust settles on this weekend, in the next week or so, we're going to hear a lot more about what the future is going to entail for John and his relationship with WWE. But all joking aside, I don't think there's any reality that John would ever appear for another company that isn't WWE. And
another wrestling company
that isn't WWE. And while I believe him, I don't think we're ever going to see John wrestle another match. Truly, I don't think we are. I do think we'll get the occasional AA.
I could see that too. But and speaking of jokes, this comment is great.
George should have been up in the rafters next to the banners. It's coming. It's coming. I was speaking to a mutual friend of ours, Matt, Antonio.
Yes,
and we were speculating on what the fate of those wristbands, his sneakers, the armband would be, because
they're definitely auctioned off.
They're definitely,
or they'll stay in the vault. You know, like the WWE's. You know, whatever they want to do with the museum.
So from what I heard from Antonio, our friend, shouting you out, pal. I hope you get to watch this. Antonio told me that his Boston set, I don't know if it included the sneakers, but definitely like the wristband, armband, all that stuff, went for $100,000 at auction.
Okay, I believe it.
That's just, first of all, that's insanity. Second of all, if that went for $100,000, I couldn't even fathom what his final match would go for.
The thing is, do they sign stuff like that? That's what I want to know. Like,
I think there's more value in him not signing it.
I think that's bullshit. I'd be like, sign it afterwards. Like, sign it the inside out, you know, like sign the inside of it. Boom.
This great comment from Papa G. I wonder if we could ask for a refund. 5.5-hour drive coming and going. What we spent, I could have paid for my Yankee tickets for the season. Really disappointed with the tap out. Well, Papa G, you are one of many who are disappointed with the tap out. We're going to talk about it in a second. I don't think you're going to get your refund, but
you guys should have just taken the train.
We talked about it. We thought about it, but we didn't know what the end of the night was going to look like.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes just the security of knowing you're in control of your own route. Yeah. But let's see. What was these last comments from Tyler? Tyler saying John Cena announced he signed a 5-year ambassador deal with WWE, confirming he will remain a major part of the company. Okay. Well, first of all, Tyler, thank you for allowing us to know that. Like I said, I knew I heard something. We'll see. Well, I'm choosing to believe what you're saying is 100% accurate. I'm sure it is, but it's an interesting thing to think about. That thankfully he's not going away into the night. Now, all right, Matt, we're just gonna go into the heat of it. Did you like the finish? Did you like the tap out? Do you agree or disagree with how things played out?
So I'm glad Gunther won. I'm shocked that he got to in a year's time, like this year, he was world champion, retired Goldberg,
Yep.
and retired Cena. Uh, the tap out, I think that'll over time. I think that'll be more. I think it's hated right now, but I think it'll be respected. The fact he kind of just like Cena was just like, yeah, he could have just stayed it and then eventually passed out, but like he kind of was accepted that like this is the end of the match. This is the end of my journey here. I can't get out of this move. The only thing that I take issue with is the fact that he is like the guy that says never give
Yeah,
up, and that's
I
exactly
agree.
what he did. So that's kind of it's a contradiction there. And
Please continue.
yeah, just that I take issue with that. Um, like if anything, he should have been the pass out guy, and Goldberg should have been the tap out guy. But like, I don't know.
I don't think there was enough money in the world to convince Goldberg to tap out. I think
Yeah,
that's really the reality of that. I agree with you. I 100% would have preferred the pass out. I went into the night expecting John to lose. It's unfortunately the wrestling tradition of going out on your back, going out on your shield, putting someone over on the way out. I thank God every day for AEW allowing Sting to go out the way he did.
and like we've talked about that, I'm the
I know.
opposite. Like,
I know.
think Sting should have taken that loss.
Would you have been mad if John won?
No, but because I expected him to. Honestly, like until the match started, I expected him to win.
Really?
And
You expected John to win?
yeah, and I
Wow.
shouldn't have because he telegraphed it. He told us, he's like, I want to leave this place in a better position than what I found it. Like he wants to pay it forward. This is him paying it forward. It was certainly a better match than Gunther versus Goldberg.
Oh,
So even if you
100%.
don't like the ending, it was way more satisfying.
Yes.
There was something missing to all of this. I couldn't tell you what it is. I can tell you theories or fan bookings, but I think there's holes in everything. Like,
Yeah.
would I have liked to have seen maybe John, walks backstage before we see, like the first time we see him that night is him walking out to the crowd, which I get, but like maybe we would have liked to have seen him backstage, the way that he saw some of the legends ringside, see some of his his fellow wrestlers in the back. Maybe he sees Joe Hendry, like maybe they do a thumb war and that's their wrestling match. Maybe he sees The Rock. Maybe they play rock paper scissors, and of course The Rock always chooses Rock. But who knows? I don't know. Like I even said that in the chat. Maybe I wanted Rock to come out afterwards, and he could have been something like something nice, but then changed it, and then at the end been like, "You're a bigger disappointment than Travis Scott," and then Cena he gets smacked by he smacks Cena, and then Cena hits him with an AA, so everyone kind of gets to go home happy with a like Cena isn't like, even though he lost the match, he got to go out on top by AAing The Rock. I don't know. It's
I mean, that's a better theory. That's a better idea than what Mark Henry came up with.
Oh, the Joe Hendry, yeah.
Oh, just awful. Just awful.
Yeah, just take that moment away from Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Take it away from Gunther. Make Joe Hendry look like a nerd, which we're going to talk about Hendry too in a little bit.
I mean, how Hendry could totally do that at Cena's Hall of Fame induction. Like, Punk, Jericho, and Mick Foley did it for Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't actually count, but it's like a funny moment. And there's been enough time from that happening to Cena now that they could do it, and it would be fun. Like that would like make Zack Ryder's night, like something like that.
Zack Ryder specifically. I like that.
Well, he's always into the references and
yeah, of course. Ultimately, look, I don't think anyone is wrong one way or the other with how they feel about last night. If you loved it and thought it was the perfect ending, the guy who never gives up saying, I'm at peace with this being the end. I'm not giving up out of desperation. I'm giving up because I know I'm done. I get your mentality. If you're somebody who's disappointed that John lost, I'm with you, because sometimes it's nice to see the superhero fly off into the sunset one last time. Every Superman movie for decades ended with Superman just flying around the earth knowing that he was out there protecting us. So I get it. If you're somebody who was okay with John losing but hated the tap out, I get it. Matt said it well. The guy whose mantra for decades, literally decades, was never give up, gave up in the end. No matter how technical we want to be about it.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to explain it to a child. Like, I get it as an adult and I can accept it, but like, I don't know how you tell a child. And maybe that's why I think it'll resonate more years from now.
I get that. Like, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest. The name of our podcast is the Mark It Down Podcast. We are marks, or I'm a mark. I like the happy story. Don't get me wrong. I love the moments where the heels do something cool. I get it. I'm never going to be like, oh, I can never love a heel doing something or winning something. But ultimately, for me, as a fan, I went into last night, John Cena being probably the most important figure in the wrestling world to me. And I wanted him to win. I didn't think about the ramifications of if John Cena beat Gunther, what does this mean for Gunther's career down the line? I didn't go into thinking about the backstage politics of any of the situation. All I thought about was I wanted this guy that I really care about, really love, to win. And I didn't
wanted to see his last match. Now that was a lot of people that were there. That was, and you got to see his last match, so that's one thing off the list. But you didn't get to see him win, so it's bittersweet, and it's also very bitter because we're never going to see him wrestle again. And if you're a fan, then on top of all of that, it's tough.
I made it a point. So I saw Cena 3 times during this retirement tour. I saw him at SummerSlam where he dropped the title to Cody, which was the right that was the right decision. He should have lost the belt back to Cody.
I don't think he should have turned face the night before, but like
I agree. I think that was them doing their best to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And we're going to talk about the run in a bit, but okay. I agree. I do agree with you. I went to MSG where he got to team up with Sheamus and Ray and defeat the Judgment Day.
I did. No. Thanks, Netflix.
Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to rub that in.
No, it's not your fault. It's Netflix's fault.
I went into MSG expecting that to be the last time I saw John win. So I got to have that last moment. And that was his last victory. That was his last. He lost to Dom at the pay-per-view, and then he lost to Gunther here. So I did get to experience one last heroic moment from Cena. But it's going to be tough for a lot of people. Going to check the comments real quick. Tyler saying, look, I was crying. I was crying the whole time during Cena versus Gunther's match. I will know that John Cena is going to retire, knowing that Cena was going to retire. I totally get it, Tyler. I cried during the first video package. I didn't cry during the match or during the outcome. I did get a little choked up during the second video package, but I get it. Dragoon saying, in a perfect world, Carmelo Hayes was the dream last opponent. I don't know that Mello would have been my guy. I think my dream guy would have been Dom. In a completely differently booked retirement tour, it would have probably been Dom. But considering how Cena's retirement tour went, I think Gunther was the only guy that really made sense in the end. But I was still bitter about it. Dragoon saying he's in a reality where you, quote, do it for the kids. However, beyond that, you, quote, do it for the people. I like good stories to send the people home happy, or send the people home. being in the arena last night, you could feel how dead that crowd was and just how all of the wind was sucked out of that room. Nobody was happy with how last night went in the arena.
And again, that's why I think like something like, again, you have The Rock come out and they do a segment, and he at the end it's John gives The Rock an AA like that. Maybe it's too little, too late, but it's something. I don't know.
I think we could all agree Cena not cutting a promo was rough. I know why he didn't, because what is there to say that he's not going to say at his Hall of Fame?
Well, retirement speech. I was surprised we didn't get one.
I am too, but yeah, arguably he's been doing it the entire year. Arguably, I'm saying this as someone who was also disappointed he didn't pick up the mic.
Yeah,
but I wasn't shocked. Dragoon saying, and at the end of the day, people didn't need a story where wrestling Superman gives up on his way out. I've seen a lot of people arguing Cena didn't give up. He accepted the reality of the situation. I don't really think there's much of a difference. I think we're just being technical in our wording of it.
I think there's a difference in the standpoint. You could be like, oh, this hurts so much. Save me from the pain. Like, I'll do anything to get out of this.
Yes, yes.
I cannot get out of this.
So I've
accepted this. Like, this is farewell.
I get it. I don't get it. I get it. I don't get it. But
and again,
I
a child is not going to get it.
I have the heart of a child, Matt.
Well, and I'm saying like that's the issue with the ending is like I think it makes sense and I can accept it. And again, I think years from now it will be better received than the initial, the initial reaction, the initial review. But like a child today is still not going to get it.
Yeah. Tyler saying he thinks Gunther is going to be the new legend killer of retiring people. And going back to an old comment, I did say we would come back to it, so we'll just acknowledge it really quickly. Tyler saying he thinks Gunther is going to retire Brock and AJ too. I can see it being AJ. I have the ultimate fear that Brock will beat Gunther.
Yeah, I still don't think Gunther is booked strong enough to beat Brock. I think they're definitely there to have a competitive match.
Yeah.
But I certainly don't think he can beat Brock clean at this point.
Yeah. I think if there's anyone who should retire Brock right now, it's somebody else who was on the card. And I think it should be Obafemi.
Oh, that's a cool pick.
I would happily watch Obafemi do it, but I am terrified because we have no reason still why Brock Lesnar destroyed, decimated, Suplex City Part 2'd John Cena at WrestlePalooza. And I think that was done to set up a Brock versus Gunther match at Mania. I know the money is... What happened?
I'm down for that.
I think the money is a lot of people are willing to bet we're going to get Cody versus Gunther at Mania. Or Gunther versus Punk maybe at Mania. Both are very possible. I think we're probably closer to Gunther Brock, though.
I mean, they got to come up with an excuse not to have Gunther go for Punk's world title. He hasn't gotten a rematch. It was one of the things that I suggested that, they don't do the second Dom match. And Cena had instead faced Joe Hendry, defended the title. Joe Hendry loses. And then Cena loses this match against Gunther, but Gunther regains the IC title, the title that he held, longer than anybody. And he's just kind of like, look at me. This is what I'm doing right now. I've got this title. Like, it's a distraction for me from the world title. We'll get to that at some point. Hell, he could have even pulled a Ultimate Warrior at like the Rumble or Elimination Chamber or Mania against Punk. So if you don't like that idea of like Cena's last match being for a title, that's fine. I don't think it really matters either way. But again, I'm just looking for a distraction from Gunther to get away from the world title and away
I get
from
it
Punk right now.
I totally get it. I don't really have much to add on what you said. That was well done. Dragoon saying, I'm mostly disappointed because nowadays, as corny as it is, people need hope. John Cena symbolizes that hope for people, and this was the time it should have happened. I agree. Personally, I agree. I think Dragoon said that beautifully. I think he's very much voicing how I feel about the situation. There were two instances of something that immediately came to mind when thinking about this situation. In the crowd, I don't know how well it played on TV, if the camera caught it much. There was somebody on the floor on the TV side that had a sign saying something along the lines of, cancer couldn't stop me from being here.
Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah.
And there was somebody who tweeted after the show, I don't know if it was late last night or at some point today, and she did it comically. So nobody get upset that I'm bringing this one up. It was a woman in a hospital bed with a tube in her nose. And she tweeted, John Cena told me it's okay to give up.
Ooh, rough.
She specified she's had a rough medical year, so she's dealing with it with dark humor, not to take that too seriously.
And I love dark humor. But
yeah,
like, even that's rough.
That's fucking rough.
Again, it's like, what are we supposed to tell the kids?
Right?
What are we supposed to tell the Make-A-Wish kids?
What's his name? Sean Ross. Don't bring up the Make-A-Wish kids. Sean Ross Sapp was like, remember, kids, it's okay to give up when you feel like you're done. So, I know, look, I've seen so many people split on this, people on our level, fellow podcasters, that even though we're the only real podcast about wrestling in the world, either defend it or hate it. I've seen people who are above us on the totem pole, like Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, Sean Ross Sapp. They've all kind of criticized this type of booking. It was funny. I don't know if anybody watched it, but you know how they do the post-show like analyst table?
Yeah.
Like it's Big E. They were doing their best to be like, I get why the crowd's booing, but do you think John wanted it any differently? It's okay to tell. Apparently, according to John, this entire retirement tour, none of it was his decision. Like he has said over and over, I don't make the choices. I just go where I'm told. I just do what I'm told. So you're going to tell me now he decided, I'm putting my foot down. This is how I want to go down. Even if he did, he apparently was a yes man the entire year. Maybe Triple H then could take the responsibility of saying, you know what, John, I get what you want, but this is not going to send the crowd home happy. Maybe we just got to let you win it. So whether or not you want to blame booking, Triple H, WWE, TKO, whether you want to blame Cena, somebody should have said, are we sure we don't want you to win it? Or at the very least, not have you give up.
Well, we'll have to look at, and it is, you can't really trust it entirely, but we'll have to look at whatever they do for the backstage show they do. What the hell's it called? Unreal. Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting. Like I would consider watching that.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't know. I think it was tough. Another aspect that's tough to me, like I said, like maybe we see him backstage with people before he comes out. The fact we didn't see him since the Dom match, like maybe we should have done a press conference sometime earlier this week with him and Gunther. Like they could have done it in Connecticut.
I actually agree. That would have been great. That would have been great. Yeah.
There's nothing for Gunther in this. Like it's Cena's retirement. And I get like it's more Cena's more important. It's Cena's last match. But the only thing we got was Gunther's cool promo that he did on Monday. You have to go through the entire week with no face-off, no rebuttal from John, just video packages glorifying John, deservedly so.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though. I do get what you're saying. Just to give you a different perspective on it, and I'm saying this as someone who's not going to be happy about it coming true, but for Gunther, it wasn't about the buildup. It was about the post-match landscape. Monday, tomorrow, when Gunther is on Raw,
That's his time.
We're in it now. Just like when Roman defeated Taker and the Monday Night Raw after Mania, he just sat in that ring for like 10 minutes and then said, "It's my yard now." Gunther has to say something along the lines of, "My time is now," or "he gave up," or something, but it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a lot of Gunther is now going to have mega heat.
Well,
And they
hopefully
need
he
to
does
be
a better
smart.
job than when he beat Goldberg, because I don't remember him doing anything afterwards, and we
My-
completely forgot about it.
My ideal landscape moving forward is, I'm not saying at Mania, but down the road, Gunther takes a title, WWE or World Heavyweight, and then LA Knight takes it off of Gunther. Because LA Knight, in a lot of ways, feels like a good successor to Cena. But I even like the reality, and this is something I've seen a lot of people bring up, these guys are not young anymore.
Yeah.
Gunther being 38, he could realistically do this for another 10 years, sure. LA Knight is 42.
5 years, maybe.
Yeah, like, again, not old, but in the wrestling landscape, definitely has less time ahead of him than he does in front. Like,
Let's put it not young. Let's put it that way.
So I don't know what they do here to really, really capitalize on it, other than now Gunther is even more of a made man than he was. Like you mentioned, all the accolades he had this year alone. So I don't know, man. Let's finish some comments here. Dragoon saying, as a longtime Gunther fan, this wasn't the move. I agree. Dragoon saying, in the reality where Carmelo wasn't booked like shit since coming to the main roster. I think realistically, let's say Melo was booked like an absolute A-lister. You need someone, no matter who this was going to be treated like the devil.
And I disagree. I think they could have done Knight. It could have been a passing of the torch.
I think it's possible, but are you going to tell me that Knight wasn't going to get booed?
It's okay. You can get through it. I mean, look at Rock Hogan. Like, everyone loves
they
that.
They booed The Rock.
Yeah, and we got over it.
No, brother, he had to turn into Hollywood Rock after that. And then he left.
But I'm saying, like, they didn't continue to boo The Rock afterwards. Like,
no, but that's the thing. They, like, I don't know if you were actively really watching.
I wasn't watching them now.
They did. Like, that was like the beginning of, because it went from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, where SummerSlam was when he dropped the undisputed title to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And they booed Rock out of the building.
Yeah, they booed Rock then, yes.
And two high-profile, we're booing yous, they brought him back as Hollywood Rock. And of course, then they started cheering him then because it's cool to cheer the heel, heel. But there really was not ever any true return to, this is the Rock that we're cheering for.
Okay.
Let's just finish the Tyler saying, end of an era, John Cena and AJ Styles and Brock and CM Punk and Roman Reigns and more, because they're all very old. It's time to rebuild and start pushing more young talent. I agree that our main event scene is very old, but for the first time in a long time, like a long time, I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, where you have guys like Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu, older but still on the younger side, Gunther, Joe Hendry, Obafemi now.
Sami Zayn.
I love Sammy. I don't think he's the future. I think if he doesn't win the title in 2026, he's never winning the title.
I will say, unless Money in the Bank comes into play, but sure. Interesting enough, he was with his son. He didn't stand up like for anything. Maybe his son is just like, I want to sit on daddy's lap. And he's like, you got it, bud.
Oh no, I mean, I saw the kid running around in the front. Like, are you saying like Sammy just never stood up?
Well, I was saying when they did the hey, we got legends, and they first showed Michelle McCool, who got no reaction. Then they showed Mark Henry, and it was like, yeah, Mark. It was Mark Henry, Kevin Owens,
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam, Eve Torres, who looked great. She's
Yep.
on her story. I really hope she makes a Royal Rumble appearance. Trish Stratus. And then finally, Sami Zayn at the end, who's just sitting there with his son, who's got
Yep.
the ear protectors. And I'm like, this is adorable.
It really was
He's
adorable.
not like I hope he's not like retiring or anything.
No, I think it's just he wanted to watch it as a fan. I think that's the reality of the situation. It's the same reason I saw Punk and Bailey in the crowd. They were, on the camera side. It's the same reason, like Kevin Owens, like they could have, like Kevin only came out for the match. He wasn't sitting there the entire night. I think it's just they wanted to be a part of the crowd watching it, not backstage watching it on a camera on a TV screen. But
Elias being there was wild. I did not expect that.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, good for him.
I'm pretty sure he might be injured right now because he hasn't really done anything in TNA in a minute. But we'll see. Now that the Righteous is there, he might actually they've been biding time for him to join them. But let's see. We have the Arrow stream. What up? Only Gunther could take that heat from beating Cena. No one else could survive what's coming. I'm inclined to agree. Again, I do think that there is a reality similar to what Matt was saying, where maybe if you do a passing of the torch, good guy versus good guy, LA Knight would have been able to survive it afterwards, but he would have been eaten alive in the arena. And that's not, I think, what they wanted to give him. And it's why I'm happy Oba Femi wasn't even in the tournament, because Oba would have gotten heel heat from it. And I didn't want that for Oba. I do think it's fucking ridiculous. Knight wasn't even in the building. I know he's selling what the Vision did to him on Raw. I understand that, but Jesus Christ, not even in the building.
Or he could have been in that video package in the beginning. Like, literally, I guess technically John Cena has already passed the torch to him, but it was just kind of like, oh, I reffed a match that you won, and we went on the stage together, and I was just like, yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah, no, I completely, I don't really tend to subscribe to the conspiracy theories around wrestling, but it is getting harder and harder to deny that it does feel like Knight has been punished ever since he put the, he brought up that Jey Uso sign from the crowd.
Yeah.
He got booted out of the Survivor Series match for Jimmy Uso. Like, it's getting really hard to deny it. The Arrow stream, bringing up some good comments. Welcome to the stream tonight, pal. Really appreciate it. LA Knight or Mello wouldn't survive this coming heat. We'll never know. I think maybe truly they could have done something where Knight turned heel too. I think he would thrive as a heel in a way that is harder for him as a babyface, but he's just so damn cool that it's why they turned him to begin with.
Yeah.
Dragoon saying, I actually don't think LA Knight would have gotten heat from this. Maybe I'm naive. People have been begging for LA to get the win. This would be the win. I think everybody is underestimating how much nostalgia and love and goodwill was attached to Cena in this retirement tour. I was in the trenches for years as people were booing this man. I have been physically attacked. I have been ridiculed. Violence has come my way for being a Cena fan.
I booed James before I knew James. James would dress up as Cena guy at Ring of Honor shows, and I'd boo the shit out of him.
And I
certainly was not one of those people that physically assaulted him, but yeah, it was like, fuck you.
Are you sure? You do look a little familiar from a beat. But all that said, there was none of that this year. Cena was pure babyface. Even when he was a heel, nobody wanted to boo him. People were 100% team Cena, and I don't think anybody would have gotten a cheer out of this. And even if they would have reverted back to cheering for those people after, I think a lot of perception would have stuck. I don't think anybody's going to be able to look at Gunther the same way on Monday Night Raw. I think he's forever going to be the guy who retired John Cena. And that's not always going to be a positive thing. The same way Brock ending the streak with Taker, as great as an achievement that is, it's also a mark against you for a lot of people. I know, bottom of my heart, I know I am an adult man. I am 33 years old. I've been watching this sport for 25 years almost. I will never have it in my heart to be able to cheer for Gunther. It's just never going to happen. The guy could offer to save me from an armed mugger. I'm still going to say, fuck you. Do I recognize Gunther, the real life person? Walter is somebody that like I have no issue with. Absolutely. I'm not delusional. As long as that man is on my television screen, I'm going to boo him. It's just how I'm built. Arrow saying those Cena fans wouldn't accept anything but a win. It's just me, but that crowd really overreacted. So look, Arrow,
I mean, he tapped out, bro. Like
I'm gonna go. This is what I'm gonna say. And I hope you know I'm respecting all opinions here. Oh, by the way, I missed somebody's comments. An OG of the pod, Anthony Navarro, brother. How you doing? I'm so sorry I missed your comments. We got caught up in everything else. Navarro saying, what's going on, boys? Miss y'all. We miss you too, man. Join the stream again. We miss you. I'm trying to make the Cena mantra. I'm trying to take the Cena mantra for this whole tour. I just wanted to take in Cena's last matches. SummerSlam was amazing. Glad I was able to go to that. Yeah, man, it was a hell of a show. But going back to Arrow real quick, there were 19,000 people in that arena. And 19,000 people chanted something I've never heard before. I've heard, please don't tap before. I've heard that. Please don't tap. That's not what this crowd chanted. This crowd chanted, don't give up. Don't give up. I've never heard that chant before, ever. First time chant for me. And to hear that, and then have John tap out, there was no way anyone was going to be happy with the show. Now, I've gone back and forth because I've heard other podcasters, we've had other people from our own pod talk to me about it, that some people have said that the way the crowd was angry almost hijacked the moment and took away from Cena's moment.
No.
This is what I'm going to...
He had the whole match. He had the bow. There was just a little bit of in between where people were pissed.
People chanted bullshit at the very, very end of the match, like the seconds after the match ended. And the crowd only booed Triple H. The "you fucked up" chants, the boos only ever happened when Triple H was on screen. So, anytime Cena was the focal point of the screen, the crowd was chanting, thank you, Cena, let's go, Cena, thank you, whatever. And they were just cheering him. I truly don't think that moment got hijacked. If WWE had any concept that the crowd was not going to be upset, money should not ever really come into this. I can tell you, I spent the most I've ever spent on wrestling tickets to go to this show. I have gone to 15 or 16 WrestleManias. This is the most expensive I've ever spent on a wrestling ticket.
I doubt anybody was able to legitimately get tickets for less than 4 figures.
I heard the very, very last seats, like the top nosebleeds, were like 400.
Okay.
But again, you're in the last seat.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say because I spent money I'm owed anything, but everybody who paid to be there was paying to be there for John Cena's last match. And we're obviously either crazy enough or stupid enough like me or passionate enough that they were John Cena fans rooting for John. To think that people were ever going to be okay just doesn't, they should have known better. Going back to the comments, Tyler, oh, that's good for Bear Bronson. We're rooting for him here at the pod.
Yeah.
Bear Bronson has won the GCW Invitational X and will challenge Atticus Cogar for the GCW World Championship. That's great. Good for him.
Atticus just won the title, so Bear's probably not winning the title. But still, that could be a great showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently Bear Bronson just signed with TNA. That's great. That's awesome.
Congrats.
Anthony, I got you before. So happy you joined us. Tyler, I think Bear Bronson is the new face. It's a little too early to say that, but that'd be cool to see him highlighted.
And let's focus on the WWE stuff, because we've talked here for an hour. Let's go on to the if you don't mind, let's go on to the retirement tour as a whole.
Let's just hit this last. This is just Cena, not about anything else. Arrow saying he said he's done with wrestling. People kept asking if he would ever come back due to never say never in wrestling. Tapping out is him saying he's never coming back by killing his gimmick. He killed the never say never gimmick. And Arrow saying to them that's a poetic ending. It's his humor. Anyway, that's just his thoughts. Arrow, first of all, I do want you to know I get it, and I respect you articulated that beautifully. So thank you for that. We love having these conversations here. So thank you so much. I get it. And I'm not going to say to anybody for liking or loving or agreeing with that ending that it was what they wanted and it was right. For me personally, as somebody who is a self-proclaimed Fruity Pebble, I go check out my John Cena video that we posted here on the pod yesterday. Go check it out. I really try to explain how much I am a Cena fan. I watched this guy say never give up all this time, 23 years. And for me personally, as a kid growing up, that helped me grow up. I'd argue John is one of the 4 real tenets of my life that helped form the person that I am, as corny as that sounds. I'd say it's my parents. I'd say it's Batman. I'd say it's Spider-Man. And I'd say it's John Cena. So to see John, no matter how we want to put it, literally just tap out, smile on his face saying that he's okay with this, doesn't mean that we're going to be okay with it. But I get it. I don't think you're wrong. It's just not what I wanted. But I respect where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think if you didn't have the gimmick, the tap out would have been fine. And it's just like, why not just smile and just go to sleep?
Yeah, you know like Nikki Cross in NXT against Shayna Baszler.
Yep, I did think about that.
Yep.
I guess it's more beneficial to Gunther that he tapped. And like kind of the passing out thing has kind of just been a way of protecting people, and like it's kind of it's cliche, it's what's the other word, it's a cop out, but I think it might have worked better and like been something that everyone could kind of accept. And because obviously they did not accept that ending last night, the crowd in the arena.
Real quick, what was the reaction to Vince in the video package at the end? Surprisingly, like I heard some cheers, which doesn't shock me because Vince could come back to WWE tomorrow, the crowd would cheer him.
It depends on where.
I think if it was New York, he'd get boos. I think if it's Texas, he's getting cheered. No disparagement to Texas. I think that's how it would go. But it was mostly neutral with some cheers. And I think that's it for the comments, really. Yeah, that's it for the comments right now. Going on to the next match, the first match of the night. WWE Champion Cody Rhodes took on NXT Champion Oba Femi. This is one of several exhibition matches between WWE main roster talent and NXT talent. I really, really enjoyed the matchup. I hated the finish. I get why we got it. Oba Femi just looking like an absolute superstar. I cannot remember the last time an NXT guy got such a good reaction on the main roster. Just looked like a stud. Absolutely just, I don't want to say dominated Cody because that's not true, but felt like an actual peer to Cody. The finish of the match coming after Cody hits a Cody cutter, goes for the pin, only gets a 2 count, but as he's on the floor bleeding, I think from the ear.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre makes the run in, beats down an already downed Cody Rhodes. Oba Femi then pushes Drew McIntyre off of him. They get face to face, allowing Cody to hit a Cody cutter onto Drew. And then Oba hits a gigantic choke slam onto Drew. That match is going to feed families, I'm sure. Matt, what did you think of the matchup? Did you like the finish? What did you think of the Drew stuff? Give me everything.
I like the matchup. pretty like meat potatoes match. It
Yeah.
was good. And like I said, Oba got the proper reception, which was
Yeah.
good to see. Great to see, honestly. Yeah, Cody bleeding from the ear down to like the mouth, just looked nuts.
Yeah.
There was a great joke that I won't repeat on Twitter.
In
Look
DC
up.
of all places.
Yes.
Yep.
Very comical. That was great. Great casualty, dark humor there from that joke. I mean, it would have been okay if WWE doesn't do this BS all the time.
I
Like
agree.
all the time. Like if
Yeah.
they had done this in AEW, it would have been like disappointing, but it would have been okay.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the problem is that one, WWE does it all the time, and two, there's not going to be a resolution.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, don't worry, we'll do this. I'll come to NXT and we'll have a rematch. Like that is never going to happen, and it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Well, I think a lot of people are under the impression that Oba's going to drop the NXT title again very soon, whether it's to Javon or to whoever, and then probably go straight to the main roster and probably will get Oba versus Drew. But I agree in terms of Cody versus Oba, it's just a cop-out. Just don't have the match if you don't want there to be a finish. I don't think I don't think there was ever a reality where Cody would have lost. But I don't think it would have killed Oba to take the loss either. The dude just lost to Ricky Saints. I don't think him losing to Cody Rhodes is going to kill him.
Hell, they could have done a double pin. I mean, we haven't done that in a while. And yes, is that a cop-out? Yes, but it's not the usual bullshit cop-out. It's not the interference 100%. DQ. Like, you could have done an interference and had a finish, so it's not a clean finish. That's an option. But I would have done like a superplex double pin. We haven't had one of those since probably Punk versus Daniel Bryan when Punk was WWE champion and Daniel Bryan was world heavyweight. That is it's not super satisfying, but it's better than this.
100% agree.
And like what? Drew's back in the title picture, so we're going to see him lose another title match at the Rumble?
God. What separates Drew McIntyre at this point from someone like friggin' Rusev or Sheamus? Like, I don't take them seriously as a world championship caliber opponent anymore. And that's awful. But this is what Drew signed up for when he re-signed that contract. And if he's happy, what can I tell you? I can only spend my energy being upset about how one guy's handled at a time, not two. But yeah, I agree. I don't know what the plan is. 0-3 against Cody, if you're not Seth Rollins, is insanity. Moving on to the next exhibition match, we had Bayley, accompanied by Lyra Valkyria, taking on Sol Ruka, accompanied by Zarya.
Ruka.
Is that what did I say? Ruka?
Yeah, Sol
Ruka. I felt terrible for Bayley. I felt so happy for Sol Ruka. This was a match that Sol Ruka absolutely needed to win, and Bayley absolutely needed to not lose. But you can't have it both ways, unfortunately. Sol is super over, undeniably. But I am a little worried. I'll just give you guys the finish. Bayley did hit her finish onto Sol Ruka. I forget what the rose plant. The rose plant. But Sol, being as flexible as she is, when she got pinned, her foot went on the rope and she got a big 2 count. Finish hitting Sol hitting the Soul Snatcher onto Bayley, a move that just gets everyone on their feet. 1, 2, 3, Sol Ruka gets the big win. I like Sol a lot. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to throw something at you. I want to hear your response. Sol has so many things going for her, but she desperately needs something that people like about her, not the things that she does. Because the crowd is chanting, "That was awesome," or "This is awesome." They're not chanting Sol Ruka. And they cheer when she does the handspring off the ropes DDT. They're cheering when she's doing the handstand moonsault to the outside from the ring. They chant for the Soul Snatcher. They're not chanting for her. And I think that's something that needs to be worked on. So fans love her, not the things that she's doing. What do you think about that?
I think that's a fair I'm not sure if I would even call it a criticism, but if it is, it's a fair criticism. I've been a fan for a while. I was surprised that she won the North American Championship. I definitely thought that was going to go to Lola Vice or Jada Parker if she was even in that ladder match. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, I think her and Zarya, who's great as well, they were just a random pairing they put together that worked.
Yep.
And obviously Soul has been getting a nice rub in a singles context. I would just like to see them, if they're going to continue to be together, just put the tag titles on them. Nobody in NXT, and I know that's not probably the answer you were looking for or expecting, but like nobody in NXT has even come close to touching the tag titles since they got unified. Like it should have happened by now. It should have happened with Lash Legend and God, I'm already forgetting her name because she moved on and moved to NXT, moved to TNA.
Jakara Jackson.
Thank you. I was going to say Jada Parker, and I'm like, no, I said Jada earlier.
Jakara Jackson, who is now Mara Sade in TNA.
Thank you. I definitely could never have remembered her TNA name, but I did remember Jakara Jackson. Just momentarily forgot with the other J names. Maybe she needs to have a catchphrase or just needs to do more skits, needs to do more promos.
Yep.
Again, that's where the catchphrase stuff comes in. She's very attractive, very skilled in the ring. And again, has this partnership with Zarya that was a surprise hit that just hasn't led to a ton of team success, which I think it should. So I think that's the next step. Either break them up or have them win the tag titles, either one.
I'd agree with you. And I think you said it in our group chat yesterday that it's to me, I think it's nuts that she was holding on to 2 championships in NXT and did not lose either of them. Like there were circumstances around both where other people either were defending for her or whatever it was, but they protected her by not having her lose those titles, which says how much they value her.
Yeah, she had a minor injury on SmackDown and people they questioned how legitimate it was, but apparently it was somewhat minor, but enough that she had to stop the match on SmackDown or like what I had to get carried off. And then she was not able to defend the titles that she needed to defend. So
yeah,
again, I'm excited to see more of her, but I really liked your criticism, which was like, people need to care about her and not just the moves. I think Kurt Angle has talked about that character work is so important.
Yeah.
It's not just the matches, it's the character work.
100%. 100%. The Aerostream saying it well. Soul is amazing in ring, but hopefully she works on her gimmick in NXT before a main roster call up. I agree. And I would love what you said. The tag titles would be great. I think that'd be a great move for them. For her,
she needs to definitely do. I would say a character change for sure. It's not necessary yet, but like you're only going to go so far with a surfer gimmick. Like a cool surfer girl.
Look at Sting.
This is also interesting about her. I don't know what she's half black. Like I've learned that.
She's Hawaiian.
Okay, so that's where so the surfer thing is, but is it the black part or the other? Like I'm just curious. It doesn't matter. I'm just like I wouldn't ask any of these questions until she brought it up. She's just like it's Black History Month, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Well, a woman of many surprises, I suppose, and a very diverse woman. But either way, we are very excited to see what her future holds. And we hope she's clearly got most of the pieces. Hopefully she finds that last puzzle piece to really make her the complete package. But I think she's close.
And we like diversity in the Market Down podcast.
That we do.
Want to make that clear.
That we do. Before moving on to the next match, but I'll put up the banner. Navarro saying he wants Saturday night's main event to be exactly what it was yesterday. 1 high-profile match and then 4 matches that are exhibition between NXT talent and main roster talent. I actually really like that idea. It gives it its own identity. It gives it its own vibe. Saturday night's main event can often sometimes feel just like a glorified televised house show.
Yeah.
And I get them, wanting to make it feel more important, more special, and more unique. So not a bad idea there. And Navarro saying he kind of likes that, or kind of like that, but each match should have a definitive winner, from your lips to God's ears. But going on to the next matchup, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the WWE Tag Team Champions, taking on Javon Evans from NXT and TNA's X Division Champion, Leon Slater. This was the match I was most looking forward to. No, I can't take that. I can't say that. It was probably still Oba versus Cody just because of Oba. But this was the match that I knew was going to deliver 100% going into the night. I knew that all four men were going to show up and show out, and they did. This was high flying. It was quick. The young challengers, Javon and Leon, attacking right out the gate, essentially going after them on the outside, diving onto them, taking AJ out of the match early, focusing on Dragon Lee. We saw basically both Javon and Leon hit their big spots. Javon with his incredible frog splash, Leon with his 450 swanton, which is a move that I have seen him hit so many times, yet my brain still cannot process how somebody does that.
Yeah.
The finish of the match coming after, unfortunately, a botch that I think many people, AJ included, are blowing up to be a much bigger deal than it was. AJ missed a phenomenal forearm as he slipped on the top rope. Thankfully, I think it was Leon. I don't think it was Javon. Covered it beautifully, going immediately for a pin. The finish coming as Javon is on the outside with Dragon Lee, and Leon is in the ring with his, I guess, forefather of X Division Championships, AJ. And AJ hits the Styles Clash, 1, 2, 3. That is the end of it. All four men posing in the ring afterwards. As a TNA enthusiast, I think this just furthers my proof that TNA is there to boost up the WWE guys. Leon is the X Division champion. Javon Evans is 0-10 in championship matches in NXT.
Wow.
And they still didn't have him take the loss. The X Division champion took the loss.
Yeah.
That's for the Gym Pack Zone. We will talk about that on Thursday. But I thought it was a fun match. What did you think of it?
Same. Not much to say. Just fun. Again, we've seen Leon Slater grow a lot this year, like
Absolutely.
both on screen and in person. So
yes,
it's very good. I hope to be able to catch up with him at some point.
100%. I think it's just also a matter of time before WWE scoops him up from TNA.
Yeah,
it's not if, it's when.
I wouldn't mind Javon. That's one of the things we've complained about WWE taking the TNA titles. Like I wouldn't mind Javon getting the X Division title as long as he's like going to TNA and like defending the title.
It. Yeah, no, strong agree. I think we are just as likely to see Javon and Leon win a tag title together at some point. I don't know which company, but NXT's tag team division could definitely use it, but different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
And finally, we're going to cover what was a fun in-ring segment. I hope you loved it because I feel like this did in some ways check a few boxes for you.
Yeah, it's not what I would have done. Like we've talked about what I would have done, but like, hey, at least they thought of it and they did something.
Yes. As we had The Miz interrupt Stephanie McMahon while he was in the ring, wearing the gear he wore when he defeated John Cena at WrestleMania 27 all those years ago. The Miz saying how something along the lines of being overlooked in this tournament, that he should have been on this show, considering how important he was to Cena's past, all that stuff. Miz gets interrupted by R-Truth, or for all intents and purposes, Ron Cena. Ron coming out, confronting his awesome Truth partner, saying he saw what Miz did. He did something that no one else did, which was lose twice in this tournament, having taken someone else's name out, but he saw whose name The Miz took out. He saw the ball that Miz hid and instead replaced with his own name. He had the ball in his hand. Miz opened it, and he said that name out loud. What was the name?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. So
And
Hendry
with
shows up on the apron to zoom in. Everyone's happy. Everyone's singing. Miz is like, stop it, no, turn that music off, stop dancing. And of course, it gets into a physical altercation. And why do you tell us what happened?
At this point, Miz, of course, gets bodied by Truth and Joe Hendry. Joe hits the standing ovation, and then both men hit the 5-knuckle shuffle onto the Miz. Hendry and R-Truth also doing Hendry's turnaround pose. The crowd ate this up. Everybody was into it. Everybody, like, it's what's giving me hope for Hendry, even though I haven't been thrilled with how he's been booked in NXT so far. Undeniably, this is a guy who has been who had lobbied hard for a Cena moment and never really got it.
We'll talk about that with what we wanted for the retirement tour and overall review at the end of this video, which we're getting to close.
Yeah, we're almost done, guys. But I'm happy he got something. I'm glad that this was a much more high-profile spot for him, and it gives me hope that Hendry is going to have job security for a long time as he most likely grabs the torch from Truth. Not immediately, but we're getting there.
And like, it was good because, he's had big moments in WWE. He had the Rumble, he had WrestleMania, but those both, like, he looked bad physically, as in matchups. Here, he looked strong. He got to body the Miz.
Well said. Well said. This was a victorious moment for Joe Hendry. So I think we all love that. But guys, for the most part, yes, that was Saturday night's main event. We're going to talk. I think we've said everything there is to say about the show itself.
Yes.
But just talking about John Cena, just talking about this retirement tour. For me personally, I'm very happy that it happened. I'm very happy that this was probably the most celebrated retirement match. I don't know if ever, but possibly. I think for WWE, arguably, the only ones that really come close are Flair and Shawn. I wish the tour had been handled better. I wish that there had been more thought put in from the get-go. We've heard in interviews, throughout the year that a lot of this was done on the fly, with the heel turn at the Elimination Chamber being done to sort of just push sales, and it was a response to Rock not getting what he wanted out of a heel turn from Cody. I think the heel turn was incredible, but the heel run was weak.
I'll agree with that, for sure.
Very happy Cena won the 17th. Very happy Cena won the Intercontinental. And hated the Brock match. I'd say the Brock match was the absolute low point of the tour. And while I'm not happy with the finish of Saturday night's main event for John, I am happy that seemingly John got to go out the way he wanted to. I might not agree with it. It might leave me unhappy, but I'm happy if John is happy. Matt, what are your thoughts on the tour? Everything.
I definitely would have booked it differently. I think going in, I was expecting more dates because we'd always seen John so often, all the time, even after injuries, he'd come back early. And I'm not saying I expect that, but definitely there was times where I thought we were going to get more John Cena, whether he was wrestling or just making appearances. And again, I would have maybe liked to have seen some more segments. We talked about the Saturday night main event, the Miz spot was pretty good. And I had suggested something on the pod similar that Miz come out to doing his John Cena, cosplay thing. And then Cena comes out to the Thugonomics and just hits him with an AA. And that's what we get out of the two of them together.
Yeah.
I think it was ridiculous that we got 5 matches between John Cena and Logan Paul.
Yep.
We had the Royal Rumble, we had the Elimination Chamber, we had the one-on-one match. Oh, but sorry, we had before the one-on-one match, they had a tag team match as partners, then the one-on-one match, and then after that, they had a tag team match against each other. So there was definitely some people like, Braun Breaker got left out in the cold.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu got left out in the cold. Some young guy, up and coming guys that could have, win or lose or draw,
Yep.
could have definitely, uh, again, it just seemed like there was a lot with Cody, which made sense because they had the rivalry and the title went back and forth. That makes sense. But again, way too much with Logan Paul, too much with Jey Uso, too much with Dominic Mysterio, in my opinion. I don't think they needed to have, like, hell, you could say 4 matches if you say the Rumble, even though they didn't match off in that, and they could have had him wrestle Joe Hendry in that.
I completely agree with you. I think the fact that Hendry was in the Rumble and just missed Cena was
Bullshit.
silly. Yeah.
Bullshit. It's like Cena could have been the one to eliminate him. Like, they probably don't want to do that because, like, it's a good guy eliminating another good guy. But, like, Joe Hendry would love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I
Hendry would be
completely
like,
agree.
oh, do it. And, like,
I mean, they had Roman do it. Roman was the one who eliminated Hendry after a big spear, and Roman was technically a babyface at that point. So I agree. It should have been Cena. Absolutely. They should have had a moment. You could have had Miz and him have a moment in the Rumble. Like, that Rumble should have featured Cena a lot more. Jay got the rub, obviously, and at that point, everyone was still happy for Jay. But yeah, that was I completely agree with that sentiment. I'm against you a little bit on the Dom stuff, just because I think Dom, to me, should have been the final opponent, because I think Dom is so young and is so mega over that he's the only heel that would have been able to survive it coming out of it. I think they would have booed him the way they were going to, but when the babyface turn happened, they would still cheer the shit out of him.
That's fair. I didn't personally want to see him as the last opponent, but, like, that's fair. Also, LA Knight. The fact LA Knight did not get a match with Cena is insane. Like, it didn't even have to be the last match.
Yep.
Like, I wasn't into the whole thing of let me go visit all my old rivals. Like, and if you like that, that's fine. Like, we're allowed to like different things.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to all our viewers, not just you, or somebody watching this later on. But, like, I don't know why we had the second R-Truth match. Like, we could have.
I understood the second R-Truth match more because of the story that was going on there, but even then they dropped the ball once he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think inarguably everyone can agree that this tour had its good moments. Like, I think the Cena AJ match was incredible.
AJ should have cut his hair, in my opinion.
He says he's going to when he retires. He said his wife doesn't want him to have it much longer.
I want to see him wrestle with short hair.
I agree. I think he needs the beard, but the short hair with the beard is the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to shave the beard. I definitely would. Yeah. We're beard guys here, but I think I'm sick of the hair. I wanted it was great he brought the shorts. I wanted the
full AJ look.
Yes, I wanted the short hair.
Yeah, but I thought the match was incredible. I thought the SummerSlam match with Cody was amazing. I love that SummerSlam match with Cody. Mania, I know, is a low point for people. I think the SummerSlam match was great. I am of the belief, I think the Cena Punk feud was the best part of Cena's heel run.
I missed the match. I still haven't seen it.
It was good. It was good. But even with all of those high points, I think most of us can agree there were aspects of this run that should have been better. No resolution with The Rock is criminal. The only person we could blame that for is The Rock. The Miz not really getting more, unfortunate. LA Knight not getting anything, unfortunate. But I am happy. I'm surprised we didn't get Cena Drew.
They were in the tag match.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that would have been another cool one because they faced off, but like not anytime recently.
But overall, I'm happy we had it at all.
Yeah.
Just let's do some last comments here. Arrow saying, he said it best. It takes 5 years to make a face. It takes about 1 to 2 years for people to sink in the idea a face turns heel. It's a little too late for him to be heel. If he had more dates, maybe. I agree with the sentiment, but I also think realistically, even if he did have more time, one, fans just didn't like the story with it. Two, I think that there were just people that no matter what weren't going to boo him on this retirement tour. And I think we also need to acknowledge the fact that Cena wanted to do more dates. He said 200. That was never going to happen. I don't even think WWE does 200 main roster shows a year. But the fact that we only got 36 dates feels wrong if he was willing to do more.
But I mean, if he had gotten hurt on more, then it's just
But even if he's just cutting promos, selling feuds, the AJ Cena match happened because of Twitter.
Yeah, that's true. I think Rock needed to stay involved for the heel turn to work. Like,
Absolutely.
you need to have him influencing Cena. Like, Cena is Darth Vader and The Rock is the Emperor.
Yeah.
And it's like we're trying to get Anakin Skywalker to come back from being Darth Vader, and we didn't get that. So again, that's on The Rock.
Yeah, 100%.
Mr. Johnson.
I think there are a lot of people to blame for how the heel run went. Because yes, we could blame The Rock for positioning something that never came to fruition. He threw the ball with no one there to catch it. But we also need to acknowledge that the heel run went from Elimination Chamber to essentially SummerSlam, the night before SummerSlam. But SummerSlam.
2 nights, yeah. Friday, the SmackDown of
the SmackDown before Summer. So that means for months, the responsibility falls onto the bookers and the writers, which are Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, whoever, and they just fumbled a heel run that people wanted for about 15 years. So we could all blame The Rock, and I do. I absolutely blame The Rock. But I think just as much blame goes on to how it was handled by creative.
I also didn't buy it because you just had different T-shirts still. Like, if he could have told us, he could have been like, yeah, screw you guys. You're still going to buy all my T-shirts. Thanks for all the money. I'm an asshole and everybody loves me.
I know we all look back onto what was, where we all heard the story that when Rock and Cena were wrestling way back when, it was discussed that Cena was going to turn heel. He had all new ring gear made. He had new entrance music set up, all that stuff, and it just never happened. We never got the heel turn. And I think there was an expectation of that here that obviously never happened. And obviously they should have played it out the way you said, like, you're still going to buy my shit, so I'm going to keep putting it out. I have the new Cena belt. I have the final belt.
Can we see it? Can we see it? Yeah, I there's an aspect of me who liked it where he's like, you get nothing. But again, like, you could have just changed to bad.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
I can't hear you.
Let me make you full screen. Hold on.
Let me get rid of the comment.
Ooh.
We got, you can't see me. Never give up. That was a lie. Also loyalty, respect. And on the back, final.
Very cool. Yeah, but we could have at least gotten, he could have changed his music to Bad Man, Like,
yep.
Or Dr. Thugonomics.
I agree with you. So it is what it is. I am going to have to, so I can sleep at night, focus on the good, of which I do think there was a lot. Get past the bad, and one day, hopefully, come to terms with the finish of the match.
I mean, if Kevin Owens can forgive John Cena for beating him 2 out of 3, maybe I can too. I can't. But I'll try. Kevin Owens all the way. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Get well soon. Even if you never wrestle again, I want you to be happy and healthy.
I completely agree with that sentiment, Kevin. It was great to see you there last night. And of course, we wish the best for him. Just finishing up these comments. Again, what up, Dev? Hope you're doing well, pal. Aerostream saying so many with Logan. That's wild. Yep. No, I get that Logan is a priority for them, especially because it seems like he is committing to WWE. But I just that's a lot. That's a lot. And I don't think it really did much for him. Aerostream saying, make one of the matches in his retirement year a hair wager match and lose. John spent too much money on that hair to ever wager and lose it.
It was not looking great at the end of last night.
Realistically, he's always going to have a thin crown unless he goes in for another procedure, which he wasn't going to do this year throughout the tour. He's got most, like, the front looks great now. It's really just the crown that still looked weak. But compared to where it was a couple of years ago, it looks much, much better. I'm not taking my hat off out of respect for myself, but I respect the fact that you're rocking it. But yeah, I great idea, would never happen, but that was funny. Aerostream, most of the dates could have been promo, didn't need a wrestle. I agree. I think if you add one date to every major program he was involved in, I think it would have been great. Cutting promos, split it between Raw and SmackDown. I think there was a way to make it work, but apparently he has t-shirts for 17 cities that he was potentially going to work this year that never got made because he never visited those cities.
I thought you were going to say they got made, but they never got released. I'm like, yo, give me one of those t-shirts.
He's working really hard to have them made and released.
Cool.
To go along with the unseen 17 whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that ever happens. Dragoon saying, got out of the shower and forgot I left this on and heard James coming from my bedroom. I miss you, buddy. And Dev saying SummerSlam match with John versus Cody and AJ versus John were great matches. I agree. I think those were his two best matches of the entire tour. But guys, we have spent a good amount of time talking about this show, almost as long as the show itself was on. We're going to be talking about John for quite some time, or at least I will be. I'm sure many, many people are going to have opinions on this. Silver lining to any of this, they have a real opportunity to make something magical with Gunther if they're able to capitalize. Obafemi looks like a star just waiting to happen. I hope he eats Brock's organs at WrestleMania. Sol Ruka on the rise. The crowd was eating her up. Leon Slater, Javon Evans looked great. Joe Hendry, great moment. And John, all I can say for right now is thank you. Matt, what do you got?
That's about it. Hopefully the ceiling, like, it's fine if they want to do Joe Hendry as a comedy character, but I don't think that should limit him the way it's limited R-Truth. Like, R-Truth was never going to be a world champ. I don't think Hendry should get that same ceiling. We'll see what happens. Plenty of time to find out. John, thanks so much for everything. Here we are, John Cena, Lego. To our audience, let us know what you want. James has got a great video right now up on YouTube about his experience with John Cena. We've got footage of him meeting John as well as his story behind the scenes. If you want to see stuff like that, we all have stories. And some of us also have footage. I'm tired and I have to walk my dog. So that's about it.
All right. So I'll end it real quick. Last thing I really wanted to say, thank you guys so much. We did it. Matt, congratulations. We crossed 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. This is a huge deal for us. We have worked really hard to get where we're at, and we are only able to do it because of how awesome you guys are, whether you're an old-timer, regular like Dragoon or Dev, one of our regulars like Tyler, someone who was awesome, or at least new to me, like Aerostream tonight. Each of you, all of you, thank you so much, Dev. Really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we are hoping for bigger and more in this new coming year. We have truly, I know I've been teasing it for a long time, but it's true. We have a lot of fun ideas that we're planning, and we're only able to do it because of how many of you guys there are. So get ready, 2026. We're going to get a little unhinged. It's going to get a little wild.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Thank you guys so much. Check us out all over social media. Matt kills it on Instagram. Rev kills it on Blue Sky. Danny kills it on Twitter. I try to remember we have a Facebook. We try to remember we have a TikTok. And of course, check us out. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, no matter where, especially here on YouTube. Means so much to us. Speaking for Matt Cascone at Matt's Minifigs or Mean Streak Matt on Instagram, I'm James Gisanti. That's Matt Cascone. Thank you, John Cena. Hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up, or I guess tap out.
Fudge.
Bye.